Hi guys, I have a quick and simple card for you today using the Into the Woods stamp set by Lawn Fawn and the Apothecary dies from Simon Says Stamp. I have gonna color this with Copics and I'm doing it in real time this time to kind of be able to explain a little bit more about how I thought about it, because if I speed it up it will go very fast and I can't talk that fast. I'm using my Big Shot to cut my dies, and this is just how I put them together. It's very simple. I usually use a little bit of a tape when I center my dies. I'm using the Momento Tuxedo black ink with all of the stamps today because I'm going to Copic color, and also as this was a new stamp set, I had a little paper on the side that I actually stamped both the sentiment and the fox a couple of times on before I went in and inked it up again and stamped it on the Nina that I'm using. I'm using Nina Solo White for all of my card today. That's the only paper I'm using, and it works actually pretty good with Copics. I'm coloring the heart. I'm coloring it a couple of times on top of it to make it not so streaky, but you can really get a good blend on Nina cardstock. And also I found a new happy thing. I love using polychromic pencils or Prisma pencils, and the Nina is actually really good for that because it has a little bit of a tooth and it isn't that shiny. Now to my Copic coloring. I'm using warm grays for the white parts, and it looks kind of muddy in the beginning, but after I've colored the reds, it actually looks more white, so the full fox will look a little bit more bright. Also, I'm using the zero marker to kind of push away a little bit of the colors on the ears and on the muzzle, but on the tail I'm using it to kind of just get a softer blend from the W0 to the white part. And as it dries, the zero is actually totally clear, but it goes on a little bit gray. I'm going to use some YRs and some E's for his body, and I'm adding the shadows in the way that I want the light come from right or upper right, but at the same time I want him to be a little bit rounded in his whole face, and to make the shadows come from the right part I'm making a bigger shadow on the left part than I do on the right part, and then you can move the light around that way and still keep it quite rounded. As the darkest color, I'm using the EO9. It's a very reddish brown and it works very good with the YR18 and the YR14 to make a kind of a fox, a very bright fox. I like that color combination. The YR18 and the EO9 actually blends really good because they're very close in saturation of color, value of color, maybe. The kind of, they have the same, almost the same darkness. The YR18 is a little bit lighter, and that makes the blending very easy. But I go over the same area several times, and this is to reduce streaks. And then I'm going in with the YR14. And when I started with the small parts, it actually blended pretty good. But when I went into the bigger parts, I found that the YR14 was a little bit too light to the YR18, so they didn't really blend. And I am going to fix that. But one trick is to keep the paper wet. And with these small characters, they usually stay pretty wet, but I think I took a little bit too long time between the tail and the face. So I am going to kind of hop between the YR18 and the YR14. I first put down some more of the YR18 and then I use the YR14 to kind of push it into the lighter area, and that way I can get it to be a smoother blend than I had before. And that is usually much easier to do after you have colored the whole color scheme and you see that it is a little bit streaky, and just add a little bit more of that middle color and then blend it, pushing that color out with the YR14. So it got a very, very smooth blend, my little fox. I'm actually adding a little bit everywhere just to get the same depth. I am cutting him out, and one tip when you are cutting, as you can see here, I try to move the paper more than I move the scissors. And you get more control over how it goes. It takes a little bit of practice, but when you have gotten it down, it actually makes it much easier. For the card today, I'm making a very, very small card base. It is 2 3/4 by 5 inches, and then I'm scoring that at 2.5. I'm scoring it with this scoring on the, or folding it with the scoring on the outside, because you get a better, crisper fold if you do that. I'm using some 3M foam tape to both pop up the fox on top of that sentiment, but also to pop up that die onto the white cardstock, because the shadow that it actually creates by being a little bit popped up as just enough definition to get that die to pop up from the card. So thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please thumbs it up. If you want to see more videos like these, hit that subscribe button, and here is 2 more small and simple cards. So bye.